Hello there dear YouTubers, my name is King1993 and today I'll be showing you another part of the Honkai Impact video where I'll be discussing about the best weapon for the best type of Valkyrie. Okay, now before starting this video I would like to say please like and subscribe and click the bell notification icons to get more of this video on a regular basis. Okay, so let's start with the today's Valkyrie. Okay, so today's Valkyrie would be about Rita or Rita Rossweisse. Okay, so for Rita Rossweisse there are 1, 2, 3 and 4. There are 4 characters in the Rita Rossweisse set. Okay, and out of those 4 characters, one is physical damage dealer, one is ice damage dealer, and these two are electric damage dealer. Okay, so these are the 3 type of damage dealer in Rita Rossweisse. Okay, now in case if you are wondering how much do I use them, these two I do not use because their attack is extremely low, so I do not use these two, but I do use this one recently. Why? Because she is a is a quantum type, and as a result her attack of both quantum damage and electric damage is high on those type of enemies, so I use her in those type of enemies. Okay, now I do not have her own signature weapon because she herself do not have her own signature weapon yet, and I do plan on using her because she is an ice dealer damage, and there are certain enemies of certain psychic enemies who can only be defeated by her if their main power is, or if their main resistance is fire resistance. Okay, in that case she is extremely good on them. Anyway, let's start with the weapon. Now let's select scythe or reaper scythe, and let's select this 2 star. Okay, so in the beginning this is the weapon you will get. Okay, this is not very good because it doesn't have any weapon skill. Attack is 70 and critical is 12. Okay, so after that, if you are a beginner, that is you will get this on the beginning, and then there is another of the same problem. There is no 3-star weapon for Rita Rossweisse. So if you have this Rita Rossweisse at the beginning, just stick with this weapon, it will be good for you. And then once you go to the 4-star, then eventually I congratulate you, because at this point you are an intermediate player, because intermediate player actually get to choose a better quality weapon than their 2-star counterpart. Okay, and all of these weapon will have weapon skill. Okay, so in case if you are wondering how much damage does this weapon deal, actually this is a character who can does single damage to a single enemy. It doesn't have AoE damage. Area of enemy, it doesn't have that damage, so as a result it will do exactly what is written here. For example, 163 into 3.5 is gonna be the exact damage you are gonna get. Another case is written here: the wielder basic attack also deals another 70 fire damage for 10 seconds. Okay, for 10 seconds is a vague description. All I'm gonna say, if you were to multiply this with 3.5, then you are gonna get a good quality of number, but still it is not the best one. Okay, now this is again another 4-star weapon. Okay, normally when it came to Fuhua, her weapon was okay, but I do not know about this one because the weapon damage quality doesn't look good. Why? As it is written here, it is a passive damage. For every hit on the enemy, character gains 2% attack speed for 7 seconds, so I have no idea what type of weapon this is. It doesn't even fall into the category of good weapon. Now what about this one, Carmine Steel? Wielder obtain a barrier lasting 10 seconds that can absorb damage equal to 10% for her max HP. Okay, by reading the description I can understand that most of these weapons are meant for Rita Rossweisse physical damage dealer, because none of these has any type of electric, fire, or any type of ice damage capabilities. So based on that, I'm gonna assume that most of these are for Rita Rossweisse physical damage dealer. So hate to break it to you, but if you have Rita at the beginning of your game, don't use Rita. That is my conclusion. Maybe the Rita which I'm using right now is useful because I am at the last part of the game where I can grind for almost any type of weapons, but the main problem is that for the beginner, this 2-star and this 4-star weapon are actually not good. Okay, so I am gonna say I am extremely sorry for the beginner and the intermediate player, but you are gonna have hard time using Rita Rossweisse. Okay, so anyway, once you go to the 5-star and 6-star, then congratulations again, because you are now an advanced player. Now trust me, in this category each weapon will have their own signature weapon categories, and each signature weapon is gonna be far better than their non-signature weapon part. Remember, up to 4-star they are non-signature weapons. So non-signature weapon as in those weapon doesn't belong to any specific Valkyrie type. Okay, now there are two side character. Okay, one is Rita Rossweisse, another is okay, I forgot her name. One is Rita Rossweisse, another is Cele Valerie. Okay, so there are two side characters. So weapon at the 5-star is this much because of that. Okay, now Senence I think is both good on Rita physical damage dealer, and for Cele physical damage dealer as well, because as it is written here, it does physical damage and it can gain also 10% critical and this. So based on that you can see that this is a physical damage dealing weapon. This one is also a physical damage dealing weapon. Okay, Aphrodite is also a physical damage dealing weapon. I'm not gonna explain it because all of them are physical damage dealing weapon. Okay, except this one. This one here is actually an ice damage dealing weapon. So if you have Rita ice version Rita who does ice damage, then this weapon is gonna be the best weapon for her, because it will give her more damage ice damage dealing capabilities. Okay, so this one is based on ice Rita. Now this one is meant to be an electric lightning damage dealing weapon. Now this lightning damage dealing weapon is actually for two of the Ritas. One is okay, two of the Rita as I have shown you is electric damage dealer. So this weapon is based for those two characters. Okay, so remember that if you have two Rita who two or one of those two Rita who can does electric damage, then use this Genome Reaper on her, because this Genome Reaper is actually an electric damage dealing weapon. Okay, now Undine Steel is a physical damage dealing weapon. This one is a signature weapon for Cele Valerie, but Rita can use this as well. This is another weapon for Cele Valerie, but you can use this on Rita as well. Okay, and finally, last but not least, this is another lightning damage dealing weapon. So in case if you are wondering which one you should be selecting in case of your weapon category, such as this one is a lightning damage dealer and this one is also a lightning damage dealer. In this case, I do suggest that you do read the description. For example, this one does 700% or 7%, sorry, 7 times more damage dealing. So if I were to activate this, then what will happen is the enemies will get 7 times more damage. So if I were to multiply these 275 with 7, then definitely, let's see, 275 into 7, then almost 2000 number you are gonna get. Okay, so based on this is not a bad weapon, but if you are gonna go for even something better, then go for this one, because this one is especially meant for lightning Rita, especially the Rita which I'm gonna show you later. Okay, the latest version of Rita something. Anyway, so basically based on that, I'm gonna say that these 1 2 3 4 and 5, these 5 weapon, 1, okay, 1 2 3 4 and 5, these 5 weapon are best for physical damage Rita, and this weapon is good for ice damage dealer Rita, and these two are good for electric damage dealer Rita. Okay, now let's go to this 6 number. Okay, what is the 6-star one? Study of Thelheim. Sorry, I cannot pronounce it properly. I think this is the German name. So this one is especially made for the ice Rita. So eventually what happened is, once you have this study, then upgrade it to level 6, then you are gonna be again congratulated by me, because this is the best weapon in the what is this called, Reaper weapon category. Now for this one, if you want to use the best quality of physical damage Reaper weapon, do remember these are called Scythe or Reaper. Okay, if you use the most strongest physical damage dealing on your enemies, then this is the best weapon for the Rita, physical Rita. Okay, so this is my conclusion, that if you are a 2-star weapon, if you got a Rita at the beginning of the game, then do not use her, because the 2-star weapon and the 4-star weapon are actually garbage. But for the 5-star weapon, you can very easily categorize them. For example, this there are 5 physical damage dealing weapon, 1 ice damage dealing weapon, and 2 electric damage dealing weapon. And if you have this patch of Archeon and this Skadi on to Durkut, then upgraded to these two. Okay, so this is the weapon category. Now let's go to this Rita herself and we'll discuss. Okay, so as I have told you, this is the physical damage dealing one, and her best signature weapon was meant to be this one. But trust me, do not always follow the recommendation line, because this is an old version for the Rita old version weapon. So this weapon is outdated, so you must need to give her the best weapon, which is the 6-star weapon which I have showed you. Okay, which 6-star weapon? Remember the weapon category is this one, the kindred weapon, path of Archeon kindred. So this kindred weapon gave her the kindred weapon, and for this one give her the Skadi, and for these two give her this one's weapon. Okay, this one, it has the same weapon which I just showed you, this Iris of the Dream. So give both of these to electric Rita the Eyes of the Dream. Okay, I forgot the weapon name. Just give this one weapon to her as well, because her weapon is not good enough to defeat the enemies. Okay, so just remember this type. Okay, now let's go to this equipment section, and do remember this forge option was not available at first, but it is now available, which is why I'm gonna show you how to have even more proper idea which type of weapon you should be getting. Okay, let's select the force and let's select the Valkyrie type. Okay, the first one is Fallen Rosemary. Now remember, for Fallen Rosemary, the best weapon for her was meant to be this, uh, not this one. Okay, her best weapon is the not these two, the electric diamonds one. But in case if you do get Skadi and the Path of Archeon, that is Skadi of Thirheim and this Path of Archeon, if you do get one of these two, just take it because it is a good quality weapon. And for this one, iron, onyx iron, it is easily grindable. You need only 150 anti-entropy core and just take it and call it a day, because uh, Fallen Rosemary need an electric pre-arm which she doesn't have yet. Okay, so this is the first topic of which weapon you should be getting for Fallen Rosemary. If you go to this foundry section, since onyx iron is available very easily, just give her this, then it will be far better than not giving her anything. Okay, so this is point number one. And here it is, Phantom Iron. Now Phantom Iron is basically was a weak character at the beginning which I got. So the characters which you get at the beginning are gonna be extremely weak. This is a very good example, because as you can probably see here, the number has gone down extremely. So what is the best weapon for her? The best weapon for her is, I gonna say that if you are gonna grind for it, then Onyx Iron is again a good option. Give her Onyx Iron because 150 anti-entropy core. And then last but not least, Umbral Rose. Okay, so for Umbral Rose, if you do have this one, Path of Archeon, as I have said that Path of Archeon was meant to be for another characters, for Cele Valerie. So to give Umbral Rose this one, because this one is gonna be extremely good at physical damage dealing. But in case if you do not have this one and you need a new 5-star weapon, then just give her Onyx Iron. Okay, so this is my conclusion. Now do remember that I do not have all the good quality sets. For example, I do not have Ice Rita, and I also do not have this path to Archeon. Okay, so if I had those two, then I would have given you a even better description of which type of weapon you should be using at the beginning or the intermediate or at the advanced stage. But as you have already saw that the beginning and the intermediate stage was actually not a good quality weapon. The good quality weapon starts at the fifth level 5-star and level 6-star weapons. Okay,